So today we're going to be reviewing story elements by looking at just the setting. We're going to go through this PDF here together, talking about the different elements of a story. So we've talked about yesterday that our elements are the setting, characters, plot, and conflict. The setting is the time and a place a story takes place. Our characters, of course, are their people or animals, and we have to make sure we analyze them and look at indirect and direct characterization. Then we have the plot, which is a series of events that make up a story, and even the conflict, a problem or struggle between two people or ideas. Today, we're specifically looking at the setting. So the setting describes where a story takes place. It helps build the background and creates images in our mind. It helps set the tone or mood of the story. Details that describe the setting can be things like the time of day, time of year, time in history, scenery, weather, location. Okay. It's just not, for example, in their house. You need to make sure you describe it in more detail to include all these items, all the types of items that you see in your story, including the where and the when. It also helps to look at the five senses, your five senses. A good setting will help the readers visualize the places in the story. And a good author will include descriptions of the setting using these five senses. They'll use the sight, smell, taste, feel, or sound. So we're going to look at which is better. If someone describes a setting as the castle was beside the water, okay, it tells me my location. But which is better? Look at this example. The waves crashed loudly against the shoreline. The fog lifted lightly. A medieval castle came into view. It was a beautiful sight. The fog brushed my face, and I could smell the smoke from the fire in the distance and taste the sea salt on my lips. You can definitely tell that the description of this tells me where it is, but it also uses the senses, the five senses. We definitely see waves crashing. We see the fog lifting. You feel the touch by the fog brushing your face, so you can feel that. You can smell the smoke from the fire and the taste, where they talked about the taste of the sea salt on the lips. This is a much better description of a setting than the castle was beside the water. Okay? So on the next slide, there's going to be a picture of a setting. So your job today is going to be to write a description of the setting for your picture. To include as many adjectives and make sure you tell me where and when it is. But I want you to make sure you try to include the five senses. You don't have to do all five, okay? But do include some of the senses, such as seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, and tasting. You won't need to do the rest of that where it says draw your setting. We're not doing that. So let's look at the picture and analyze this picture. You're going to have to describe this setting, tell me where and when it is, and describe it using some of the five senses. So that is your quick assignment in class to do, to write the detailed description like the example in the lesson we just looked at. You must include the time and place, or the where and the when, and you must also include a detailed description that uses many adjectives and your five senses. And you're going to write that as a text entry below.